Hello YouTube, the healest of ballers is back on the channel. I just woke up. I had a freaking fantastic night with friends last night, and it was great. But I am here to discuss AEW Full Gear 2025. Last year's Full Gear was a pretty good one. Main event by, I believe, a Fatal 4 for the AEW World Championship. Then Darby Allin showed back up and rammed a car into Jon Moxley's freaking other car, I believe. And that's how the show went off the air with many other things. We had Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. We had plenty of other things last year during the show. And we're leading up to this right here with the 2025 one. I believe actually at the same place they had the 2024 and the one last year as well, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, dude, let's get into it. The card right now. Kicking it off with the Casino Gauntlet match to determine the inaugural AEW National Champion. We have Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Ricochet, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey as the announced participants. We don't know who else is going to be in this thing, but that's who we all know so far in the match. Honestly, I can't wait to see what the title looks like, to be honest with you. Should be good. I am intrigued to see what the title actually is going to be looking like, and how, more belts for AEW, which, again, very questionable about that, but, we shall see how the title is going to be looking like, how it's going to be presented before I start judging things. Honestly, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin will be starting off as the participants in the match, because they both won their respective number one things to enter this match. You got Ricochet. Ricochet. He's great. Kevin Knight's awesome. Speedball's awesome. We already know about that. We don't know who else is going to be in this thing, but that's who we have so far in the match. Who do I have winning? Honestly, I'm going to go with Ricochet. I think Ricochet being the inaugural champ would be pretty fun. Plus, in my opinion, he's been working super hard, in my opinion, with this heel run, stuff like that, and, the whole shebang what he's been doing with the Gates of Agony so these past few months. The feud with the Hurt Syndicate and all that. I think, Ricochet deserves to be rewarded, in my opinion. He hasn't won anything in AEW, title-wise, hasn't won anything in AEW just yet. I'm saying everyone needs to win a championship or whatever, but, I think Ricochet needs to be rewarded for his work, for these past few months, at least. The other person I would love to see is winning is Kevin Knight or Speedball Mike Bailey. I would definitely be fine with them. Either Bobby Lashley or Shelton, I would not mind, honestly, either one of them winning. But I feel like, Ricochet being the inaugural holder of the championship would be pretty cool. Give him a sneaky one out there. And, I would not mind it. So I'm going to go with Ricochet to be the inaugural AEW National Champion. We have Darby Allin versus Pac. This stems from Blood and Guts, stuff like that, a few weeks ago, where Pac threw Darby Allin through a bunch of tables that were on fire, and leading to a match right here between the two. I guess Darby's done with the Jon Moxley and all that kind of stuff, thank God. This should be really, really fun, honestly. Pac is insane. We love Pac. Darby Allin, obviously. Enough said about Darby Allin. We all know what that dude can do. We all know how awesome he is. And this match really could go either way for me. I think that Darby Allin is going to win. Could see some Death Rider shenanigans with this match because, it's the Death Riders. We all know how Jon Moxley and his crew love to operate. So, there's something with that one there. But with Darbs, I think Darby Allin is going to pick up the win. Again, Pac is great. I would not mind either one of these guys winning. I would not be angry with whoever wins. But I think Darby Allin is going to pick up the win. Give him a dub. Darby Allin. A 6-man tag team match with $1 billion on the line. Trios title. What? This is one of those money things that I can't stand them doing. Honestly, we got Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express up against the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. This is another thing going on the card. Cool, but can we stop doing these trios money matches? I don't know. I get the whole thing behind it, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't care for it personally. That's just me. Kenny Omega's been in tag action for a good while, understandably. Him and Efren diverticulitis, stuff like that. He's been a little bit understandably slower and stuff like that. But he's still Kenny Omega. He's still amazing. He's still great at what he does. And Jurassic Express, of course, just reunited. So with that, it's pretty cool. And then you have the Young Bucks who are trying to be joined by the Don Callis. The Don Callis fans trying to get them to join them. Oh joy, yay, a bigger family. That's what we need. Really, with this match, it's just I just get. I don't know, I'm kind of getting tired of these $1,000 matches. Can we just stop with these, please? Again, it's great to see Kenny Omega back. Direct Express is pretty cool, obviously. The Young Bucks, don't like them, obviously. But again, I miss the Broke Bucks. I miss that gimmick. That was funny. That was entertaining. I was laughing. I was having a good time, but they took it away. And Josh Alexander's Josh Alexander. We already know how awesome that dude is. Him being Don Callis' family is just, I don't know. I can't stand the Don Callis family. I just can't. With that freaking egghead Don Callis talking 24/7. Good God. Anyways, besides the fact, obviously I think going with Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express to get the win. There's no way, shape, or form that the Bucks and freaking Josh Alexander should win this. Yeah, Josh Alexander's amazing, but team with the Young Bucks, gross. Although I could see the heels win this match, but no, don't do that. Give it to the faces here. Give it to Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, and I don't know where the heck we can go with that. Can we get Kenny Omega and Kyle Fletcher, please? Can we get that match next, please? Speaking of which, we have the AEW TNT Championship on the line. No DQ, by the way. The rematch. The rematch of the rematch of the rematch. We're going triple digits. The rubber match. Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe, once again for the championship. We got them going once again. No DQ. And basically, if Mark Briscoe loses, he has to join the Don Callis family. Again, enough with the Don Callis family. Jeez Louise. Anyways. Yeah, Fletcher's been an amazing champ, in my opinion. I've really been enjoying his reign. He's earned his spot. He's earned his place. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW out there. And he's really been killing it on top as champ as TNT champion, all that stuff. He's really been doing a good job, in my opinion. Mark Briscoe, like I said, I thought he was going to win last time. I thought he was really going to win the title back when we had the last pay-per-view with Wrestle Dream, but that didn't happen, obviously. So, actually, no, he faced, my bad, he faced MJF at that show, my bad. He faced MJF at that show. But besides the fact, him winning, he's been working so hard this year. His rivalry with MJF, his rivalry now with Kyle Fletcher and stuff like that. I've really just been enjoying Mark Briscoe's work this year. And honestly, like I said the last time, I thought it was going to happen. He deserved to be rewarded for his work. And honestly, I could legit see a scenario where he could win. I really could see a scenario, especially with the Don Callis family stipulation. You don't want to have him join the Don Callis family. Please, no. I mean, I could see a scenario, sadly, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I really don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe to win the TNT Championship and walk out as the new champion. And I am looking forward to this game because their matches are so fun to watch, and just those two know how to tell a story and beat the daylights out of each other, and just they know how to do it, man. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this one. Again, Kyle Fletcher's great. He probably will win the title back down the road. But I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe to win the TNT Championship from Kyle Fletcher. I'm going to go with new champ. We got the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale versus the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus Timeless Love Bombs, Mina Shirakawa and Timeless Toni Storm versus Maria Shafir and Megan Bayne. Basically, it's the winner, fatal four-way tag match. Winner chooses the stipulation for their semifinals of the AEW Inaugural Championship Tournament. I don't know. This should be fun. Again, AEW Women's Tag Titles. It's something. I mean, I'm going to give it a chance. But I'll give it this, I think everyone expected Mercedes Moné and Athena to be in the finals of this whole thing. I know that is not the case because Chris Statlander is the reason that, they're not even in this whole thing anymore. So yeah, shout out to my AEW Women's World Champ. We'll talk about her in just a bit. We got some pretty credible teams in there. I've really been enjoying the Sisters of Sin with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Sky Blue this past last week had Blood and Guts. Freaking jeez Louise. She Crimson Mask and all things. Shout out to her. And Cool Cow, by the way. Bloodbath last week at Blood Guts and that kind of stuff. And she did very well. Everyone did well in that match. Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron, Willow. I'm not the biggest fan of Willow. I will admit the tag team is pretty cool. Like I said, Sisters of Sin are awesome and amazing. Timeless Love Bombs. Again, not the biggest Toni Storm fan, but Mina's awesome. We love Mina in here. And I will say this, Marish Fear and Megan Bain have been pretty solid as a tag team so far. It's a very intimidating group with these two pairing up. Honestly, I'm going to go with, give it to the Sisters of Sin. Give it to Joy Hart and Sky Blue. I would have them, win this. And I think they're going to choose the stipulation. Plus, again, I've really been enjoying their work as a tag team. Give it to them. Give them the stipulation. Heck, give them the tag titles give them the tag titles for the semifinals. So honestly, I could legit see that scenario where that happens. I'm gonna go with the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue to win this match. That's my pick. Jon Moxley against Cool Kyle O'Reilly. That's not his name, obviously, but still. No holds barred. Can we talk about how fun this rivalry has just been? Like, these are both my guys. John, I love John, obviously. Thank God he's no longer champion. And Kyle O'Reilly has been my favorite for a very long time, since like when I first started watching ROH in 2016. So Kyle's been my dude for a long time. He's amazing. This rivalry has been personal, brutal, and bloody. It's been involving Jon Moxley tapping out and just getting afraid because, I think we found this kryptonite and it's Cool Kyle. Well, his other kryptonite was also Heyman and Page. But you get what I'm trying to say. This whole thing right here has just been very good. Jon Moxley's had his weak moments, so that he's been, he's escaping things. And, he's slapping referees and getting disqualified. Tapping out inside of cages. And all that stuff. And then this past week on Dynamite, Kyle threw out the challenge. No holds barred. You keep running away and stuff like that. I'm gonna brutalize you. I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm gonna make you pay. And dude, Kyle O'Reilly, we all know how great Kyle is. And this dude knows how to scrap. He knows how to get down and dirty with people, just like John. So these two are going out and beat the daylights out of here. With it being no holds barred again, it's going to be fun. It is going to be super fun. And give Kyle O'Reilly the win. Give Kyle O'Reilly the dub with this match, please. Again, John's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he's not AEW World Champ anymore. But come on, give Kyle the rub here. He's really been working hard, in my opinion. And I could definitely see a scenario also where John does win the match. But honestly, again, give it to Kyle O'Reilly. He's just really been doing well, with the matches with Jon Moxley. He hasn't been able to really, outside of the blood and guts, he hasn't really been able to beat John, really decisively one-on-one. So here's his chance. Here's the chance, AEW. Give Kyle O'Reilly the win. That's what I'm going to go with. Cool Kyle to beat Jon Moxley. For the AEW Tag Team Championships on the line, we have Bro Dito against FTR for the tag titles. Again, Bro Dito, been enjoying them. Great tag team. They're amazing. Again, not the biggest fan of FTR. Not the biggest fan at all. But I will admit, solid team. And they have a lot of accolades. So, again, they have a lot of accolades. People, they're good. I will give them that. Brody have been champs since Forbidden Door. And yeah, I've really been very, very solid, very good run, in my opinion, so far as tag champs. And I really have just been not bad reign for them. Like I said, I've just got up. I am tired. But I got a lot of things to do today. But yeah, they've been a very fun tag team with Brody was tag carrying the gold and stuff like that. FTR, I really think this is where they're going to win the tag titles. Again, Brody are awesome, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is where the tag title reign is going to come to an end, and I don't know what we do with them afterward. Maybe you can politely split them up, and see what you can go with that. They go their separate ways, something like that. No heels or anything like that. They just go their separate ways. Well, we did everything we could as a tag team. We'll split up, and then we'll see what we can do together as single stars. I can see a scenario where that happens. I just feel feeling FTR is going to win, because sooner or later we're going to see the return of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage soon. So, yeah, I think they're going to get the tag title match involved with that rivalry right there. Although I could see a scenario where they return right here and cost FTR. I could definitely see a scenario, but I don't know. I got this weird feel that FTR walking out tag team champs, and that's what I'm going to go with, sadly. FTR to beat Bro Dito. For the AEW Women's World Championship on the line, we have the rematch from last year's Full Gear as Ultimo Monet, the belt collector, all that stuff, versus my girl, the AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander rematch. Last year's match between the two was fun. It was insane, and there were times I thought Stat was going to be the one to beat Mercedes. She has never beaten Mercedes yet. That's the story they're telling. And the other story they're telling is that Mercedes has not held the big one. And the other story they're telling also slyly is the fact that Mercedes is not focused as well on the AEW Women's World Championship or Stat. So that's a good story to tell. And Stat is completely focused on Mercedes. So that pretty much, I guess, tells you where they're heading with this. Stat's never beaten Mercedes. And I don't think Mercedes is winning the title just yet until she drops all of her other titles. The storyline for her is going to be the downfall. And when she reaches that breaking point, that's when they're going to give her the World Championship. And I'm kind of biased. I want Stat to get a pretty long reign. But I really, that's where they're heading with this. I think that they're going to keep the title on Stat. I know many people are nervous, like, oh, they're giving it to Mercedes. I could see a scenario where that happens. I mean, I'll be very pissed off. It's not really I'll be pissed off that Stasha wins or whatever. It's just that I really want Stat to have a little bit of a longer reign as champion. At least she's had, 2 title defenses so far. So I really want to see a little bit of a longer reign with her. And so far, I've really, really, really been enjoying it. And again, a little biased because that's my girl. I really see a scenario where she's going to keep it, holding it hopefully in 2026. And then she drops it to Mercedes. I still think Mercedes is going to be the one to beat her probably. We shall see. Just not here. Just not here. The story is going to be basically, again, Stat's never beaten Mercedes, and this is where it's going to happen. She's going to retain her title, and the downfall of Mercedes, of her losing all the championships and going insane. That's going to be the story. Then she'll go after the World Championship one more time. Maybe it all in next year in London. I don't freaking know. For all we know, maybe double or nothing. For all we know as well. But I think the story right there is, that Mercedes just can't win the big one just yet. She's not focused. She's too focused on being Ultimo Monet and stuff and all her other champions to win the World Championship. Stat's completely focused on Mercedes. That's what's going to cost Mercedes the title again. And I think Statlander is going to win. So that's what I'm going with my girl, Stat, to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. And in the main event, we have in a steel cage, we have the Hangman versus the guy from Samoa named Joe. Sweet Tooth himself, Samoa Joe. I got to throw a little thing in there. Of course, the last match at the last show that we had, which was Wrestle Dream. It was fun. Again, first time ever. They did very well. And of course, the Ops turned on the Hangman and stuff like that, and they beat the daylights out of him. And then basically, Joe choked out the world champion and all that. And now, steel cage. Here we are. Of course, after Hangman got done destroying Powerhouse Hobbs and throwing him into freaking electrical equipment and all that, good God, they decided to lower the freaking blood guts around Hangman and stuff like that. And, they lowered the blood guts and all that. They beat the daylights out of him. He got up, made the save, all that kind of stuff for everyone else, I believe. And, steel cage. Steel cage. I like it. That just keep everybody out. No, it won't keep everybody out. Obviously, it's not how it works. They can still climb the cage and all that, but we all know what happened last time Heyman was locked in a cage with somebody, and let's just say it was brutal. Of course, it was with Swerve Strickland. It was brutal. It was violent. It was insane. And, dude, imagine what they're going to do this time with this match. Good God. Obviously, Hangman is going to win. I don't really get Smojo's great. He ain't winning this match. Obviously, the Hangman's winning. It's the aftermath I can't wait to see of this match. Heyman's going to win. He's going to retain. I think the lights are going to go out. And then we're going to see some random dude in the ring, and it's going to be MJF. I think this is where we see the return of MJF. He's going to attack Hangman. He's going to stake his claim to the World Championship. And we're going to head on to the next pay-per-view, which will be World's End. That's where Heyman versus MJF will happen again for the world title. That's where Heyman's going to cash this thing in. Probably that's where it's going to happen. Maybe I'll be right or wrong, but I just see a scenario where maybe MJF or maybe we see the return of Swerve after this match. I don't know. Maybe nothing happens. I don't know. I just got this weird feeling that something's going to happen to end this show. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's all I can really say. Heyman's not losing the world title. Not yet. I mean, he's keeping it for a little while longer. And I will think this is going to be a very fun match. Again, the last match was very fun between Samoa Joe and the Hangman. I have no doubt this is going to be the same thing as well. But I got Hangman retain the AEW World Championship. And that is my predictions for AEW Full Gear. I am very excited for this show. Like I said, I'll tell with any pay-per-view with this company, I guess, at this point. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do. Because, again, They usually pull all the stops. Of course, some can be duds, but I have no doubt this will be a very fun show. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what they're going to do. I do see some titles changing hands, not plenty, but I got a feeling it's going to be a very fun show. And then we're onwards to World's End. So we'll see what happens with World's End, but Wrestle Dream is set and ready to go. I'm the heelest of Ballers. And then later today, I'm going to be recording the Losers Lounge podcast with my friends and that kind of stuff. So look out for my predictions as well, and our predictions on that show as well. And I will see you all on the next video. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Too sweet, the like button down below. Subscribe to this like this one. Follow I Twitter, Hugh Balor. Instagram, Hugh Balor YT. And I will see you all on the next one. Too sweet, and peace out.